We live in Brooklyn, baby. We live in Brooklyn, baby.
Everybody to Insanity Check Radio. Once again, it's Skillet Sauce, it's Ken and 8. And we're here in the studio.
Yeah, so as I said a long time ago, it's January 28th, which means in a few days it will be the Super Bowl.
Yeah! I'm a Broncos fan. Broncos, go Broncos. Fuck you. Go Broncos.
It's a joyous occasion for us, not only because we're football fans, but because there's not a Patriot in sight.
Yes. Those cheating scums are gone.
And so now it's just going to be... And by the way, we would be remiss without mentioning what everyone in their fucking mother who gets paid by the NFL or gets a shilling from the NFL has been mentioning, which is, of course, Richard Sherman. It's disgusting, and it's ironic, well, not ironic, coincidental, whatever you want to call it. The last time this sort of thing happened was with the Seahawks. Again, last time the Seahawks were in the Super Bowl, the NFL, who claims they don't want, all of this boasting and jive talking and showing up, because it's a team event, atmosphere, protect the shield, don't shame us because we don't want to do nothing to the fans, and blah, 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 fucking blah. Well, the teams actually did what they said in that Super Bowl, Steelers against the Seahawks, and the NFL had nothing to talk about.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because no one, the running back for the Seattle Seahawks was that very square dude, never did anything wrong, whatever. The Steelers was like, yo.
Yeah, we keeping it tight-lipped, we ain't saying nothing.
And they had nothing to talk about.
One Seattle tight end said something which was rebutted by one Steelers linebacker, and they ran with that for the entire week leading up to the Super Bowl.
And they admitted to it, right?
They got to a point where I think it was somewhere during the pregame show, hour 3 of these 6 hours of fucking pregame bullshit, 4 guys were talking about this same one fucking incident, and one dude was like, look, we understand that this is not really a story, but we have another 45 minutes up here that we have to fill. So they got a gift this year where Richard Sherman did his little post-game rant, as they call it, and that's all these people have been talking about to death.
Even they spoke about it on Bill Maher's show.
Did they?
Yeah, because he was like, is thug the new way of insulting black people? The more because that's what Richard Sherman came out and said.
The answer is yes.
And he was like, he believes so. And the whole diocese was like, yeah, we think, because literally it's like, okay, you can't say that word when at one point you could say that word, but now you can't say that word. Nigga, you can't say it. So he said now, because it's like, it's the same thing. Whenever, a white guy goes up there and says whatever he's going to say, show out. I go back to Brett Favre. I continue to go back to Brett Favre. Brett Favre used to do this all the time. All the fucking time. He was just a fiery competitor. When Randy Moss pretended to do a disco dance with the goalpost, he was a thug, a cancer, and everything else. Tom Brady can curse out his coach on a nationally televised game. He can curse out the referee on another nationally televised. He did it both times. Yeah, both times was Monday night. Oh, the Panthers. Oh, we got jerked. What the fuck is wrong? Nothing wrong with that. The second a black dude says, not an authority figure, because both cases with Tom Brady, one was his coach, an authority figure for his personal team, and the other one was a fucking umpire. That is the fucking authority as far as in the whole game. Oh, you fucking, what the fuck are you doing? This guy was just basically insulting another player who was an adversary and used no profanity. None whatsoever. He's a thug. I wouldn't want to have that title.
When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. Don't you ever talk about me.
Exactly. So that's the most incendiary, vitriolic thing you've ever heard. You speak to a man seconds after he made the play that basically cemented their victory and sending them to the Super Bowl. His blood is up. He's happy as a motherfucker. You put a microphone in his face and a camera in his face, and he says that, and that is newsworthy for 2 weeks. And then he became, it's terribly, he's a thug. A Stanford-educated thug who I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is going to get his master's
degree.
Now, immediately people, once again on the comments board, was like, he's just fucking, he was there on a scholarship and someone probably did his work for him, which, could possibly be true, because I know there was a thing that came out recently with some other guys that couldn't read or write, but somehow they was in college. But you cannot do that in a master's program. You see, regardless if you say his 3.9 GPA was bullshit, well, you don't get no fucking football scholarship to get a master's.
And not from Stanford.
Exactly.
Maybe Bob Jones College, perhaps.
Yeah.
But
So
not from Stanford. Yeah. They went so far as to drag old John Madden out of his fucking rocking chair to bring him up so he can talk, because God knows if anybody knows about football, it's John Madden. And John Madden was concerned about the effect that Richard Sherman's comments would have on his grandchildren. Because, his grandchildren watch football. And they watch football, and they might get ideas about how to act from Richard Sherman. Yet, John Madden's name is attached to the most popular, highest grossing football game in history, where they show, guess what? Showboating, dancing, hard hits and tackles.
They actually cut it together using KRS-One music.
Yeah.
And but when they asked John Madden, did he actually and come out and actually do the shit with the fucking board?
I heard this was on the
I
radio.
thought he brought the board.
I couldn't
see it. See it, Drew. That fucking squiggly.
He probably has one in the den in his house and shit. And he was, remote live feed. They would have showed that, but shown that rather. But yeah, but all of this because they worried about the children. Oh, what will the children think? They didn't give a fuck about the children when they were fucking promoting NFL's hardest hits, when they were showing the fucking crunching, when they were fucking showing the dances. I was watching a YouTube video of Deion Sanders, his greatest, and I actually forgot
how job stepping.
The shit, and what it brought me back to was the video games that they had these motherfuckers go into the fucking studios to do the dances and the showboating so they can put it in the video game that who will be playing? The children.
Listen, on the NFL Network now, every week they had who had the best celebration. Because apparently this is a big white boy on the Lions, the tight end.
On the Lions?
Yeah, I think the Titans has a big white guy was a tight end. And
that's our backup tight end. He's not Scheffler. He's not Pettigrew. It's that third string tight end who played for like 2-3 games. I can't even remember.
Oh, but he's always breaking it down.
He scored 3 touchdowns in one game and then never scored.
Oh, that
again.
dude. Okay, I remember.
Yeah. Was that the dude that was doing all that dancing?
Yeah.
So the motherfucker was breaking it down. So he was getting his shit on.
But wait a minute, he's drawing attention away from the team, though.
Exactly. And no, but see, this is what I'm saying. Every week these guys rate. They literally have cards. They rate the best celebration of that week. So I just remember.
So these dudes aren't destroying the minds of the little children.
No. The only thing I will say about Richard Sherman thing, and this is one person made a good point, and I think it was one of them bald head dudes, Delhomme, one of the bald head, because it was
Jake Delhomme. No, he's not. No. John Dilfer, you mean?
No. Okay, no. Who was the guy that was the coach, the quarterback of the Carolina Panthers when they went up against them cheating scum, the Patriots?
It might have been Delhomme.
Yeah. So doesn't he have like a brother? Who's the coach of the Seahawks back in the day?
Some white quarterback.
Well, I forget the fucking guy's name. In any case, he brought up a good point. He was like, listen, the only thing he'll say, because he said he had no problem with Richard Sherman saying, what did he say? He said, this is the first time since Seattle is a small market as far as an NFL exposure goes. This was the first time that most of the national audience got a chance to see these guys without their helmets on because they don't have like big endorsement deals and all this other kind of stuff. And this was the first image or first images that Richard Sherman chose to present to the world of himself. And that I understand.
Right. And while I understand that, let's see what's happened since that
He got a commercial right away.
He got a commercial the next fucking day.
Next day.
His jersey all of a sudden jumped to the top 10 of jerseys sold in America. Not fucking Canada, not Compton, not all the prisoners, not Europe. The children in America decided that they wanted Richard Sherman jerseys. Somehow this thug, this animal, was attractive to the young kids. And fucking the Beast Mode just signed a fucking deal with Skittles. So what exactly did Richard Sherman do to his fucking team that was so horrible?
Let me go one better. Do you remember Marvin Harrison for the Colts?
I remember Marvin Harrison because I'm a football
But
fan.
Marvin Harrison could be on TV right now all day long, and people was like, "Who the fuck is this?"
Who the fuck is that?
Only a dude that scored I don't know how many touchdowns with. I think his connection with Peyton Manning is the most quarterback to receive touchdowns
going
in history.
into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Oh
Believe
yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay, nobody knows who he is. Okay, Randy Moss, when he was doing all this shit, he would come into the playoffs with a big old fucking afro, looking like a wild man. Literally looked like a wild man. Till this day, people know who he is. It literally after Kaepernick fucked him over in the Super Bowl, that fucking bum. He said some shit like, "I think I'm the best receiver who's ever lived." Being subjective, his stats doesn't say it, but I think as far as in skill set, I happen to agree, but I know that's heresy. But any case, be that as it may, he said that shit, didn't win, doesn't have a ring, fired his ass. You know, you're out of the league. He goes immediately to Fox News Sports Show. Immediately, and they said he's damn good. So here it is, this dude that he actually was on TV one time and told some woman to step up out of his face because she kept asking him questions about some traffic incident that he had. And I think the quote was, "What did I say, woman?" You know, some real shit like that.
A better quote was, "Hey Randy, you got fined for that." The same thing he was talking about, pretending to pull your pants down to the crowd, and he got fined for that. And Randy Moss in the parking lot where these fucking cameras followed him, he's like, "Yeah, next time I'll just pull out my dick."
My dick. Yeah. And the shit echoed, "My dick." You know, and that's what the whole straight cash homie shit. But in any case, Richard Sherman basically created a brand for himself. Now I see him in a Nike commercial running up some steps and shit with these new shoes that Kobe. I think Kobe.
Oh, that one actually was about before.
That was before. But you know what? I'm pretty sure people didn't know who the fuck he was running up them steps.
I didn't. I
didn't.
swear to Christ,
No.
I did not know that was Richard Sherman.
Listen, the first time I saw Richard Sherman was he was dissing the living shit out of Skip Bayless, talking about he couldn't stand him or something like that. But you know what? After that particular show, I totally forgot what this fucking guy looked like. So seeing this dude run up the stairs, I'm like, he could have been any motherfucker with dreads. But now I know who he is.
That's right.
You see, so I mean, look, the NFL is full of shit.
They're hypocrite, lying scum.
They're hypocrite liars.
They're getting every penny they can out of all of these fucking players. And quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised they build up this controversy just to make more money off of these dudes so that people can hate them. Because that's all it is. You know, they either want people that the fans love or they want people that the fucking fans hate. Either way, they're going to make money off of those dudes.
Of course.
Like I said, Marvin Harrison, he never said nothing.
Nothing.
He never danced. He never showboated nothing. And when that motherfucker left, I don't even know if they fucking announced that shit.
No.
That he fucking left the league.
I didn't even know he retired. Because I know he was injured, and that's why the Colts let him go.
Yeah.
But once he became healthy again, that was it.
Yeah, I distree with that though. But
What?
it's really marketing schemes, man. Because I mean, at the end of the day, and I know because I'm a Lions fan,
Yeah.
like probably the two best players in our history has been Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson, who are probably also two of the most quiet players.
Yeah, exactly. And they played
NFL
together. They
But they have been very well marketed by whoever they're marketing. Like,
Well, yeah, but they
you'll see
also
Calvin
are
Johnson everywhere.
they also
But see,
are
also, see,
exceptional players.
but see, I was
So
about
was
to say-
Marvin Harrison, though.
Marvin-
Maybe not Calvin Johnson-esque, but he was a damn good player.
Oh,
No, Harrison was good.
Harrison was fantastic. He ran some of the
It's a
Christmas
market-
routes.
Yeah, it's a marketing strategy.
But see, Barry Sanders was literally a human video game. So I mean, for him, his skill set was going to translate no matter what because the dude was a human video game. But just on to the game, and I really want to know because people have been saying we're going to dodge a bullet and the weather won't be so horrible, but I'm of the belief that I think this is one of the fucking dumbest things that the NFL could have ever done, scheduling a Super Bowl in the Northeast. I just don't agree with this shit. I think that if it was inclement weather and the game was decided by some sloppy weather conditions, or it reduced the quality of the game, because I want to see the best that the teams have to offer. I want them at their best. Not physically, they can have injuries or whatever, that's part of the game. But I don't want outside things influencing the outside of the game. If your defense is better than that offense, fuck them up. That's what I want. I mean, I know you beg to differ, but this, hey, you watch football. What do you think about that? I mean, because I just think if we have a Snow Bowl or some shit, I don't want to see that.
Well, my thing with the whole weather, I think it first off, in New York, our weather is more unpredictable than anybody knows.
Yeah.
Wintertime is wintertime, but over the past 15 years or so, we can have a 50, 40 degree day, 60 degree day in the middle of December. So, that's one issue. So I can understand them doing it, but personally and kind of rooting for the Broncos to win this game, you want to see both teams at their best.
That's my thing.
The snow and the cold weather, it's not going to...
it's going to affect the product. It's going to affect
the product. I think it'll still be a great show.
Oh, no, of course.
Whether it's snow, cold, I think they're going to put on a fabulous show.
Yeah, the pageantry will be there.
Will be happy.
Yeah.
And
So if it wasn't the Broncos, it was just two hard-nosed running teams.
No, listen.
I still wouldn't like it.
I still wouldn't like it because, like we mentioned Barry Sanders. I remember one time, I think, you should know. Remember the game when I don't know if it was a playoff game. It might have been a play. No, it wasn't a playoff game, but I remember they went up against the Dolphins. And I don't know what, I think it was the Dolphins. It was just like fucking snowy. And that was one of those games where Barry Sanders had like negative 18 or something like that. You remember that was one of the games where Barry Sanders literally had like negative yards at the end of the game. He couldn't do shit because the ground was, everything was fucked. I don't want to see that.
All right, look, we're running out of time. I'm just going to say this. If we don't have any problem with weather and anything else, deciding who gets to the Super Bowl, then I don't think we should have any fucking problem with who's in there. That's the whole shit. You overcome. You coach better. You fucking adapt. You wear different cleats.
Man,
whatever. That's the shit. This is a man's sport. We don't fucking run away for anything except lightning now. No. And if it ain't lightning, then you do what you got to do.
Yeah, I agree with that to a certain extent. But let's say
the main game.
Let's say if the, and maybe not in this case per se, but let's say the main team is a dome team. They won all of their road games, got home court advantage through the whole year. Now all of a sudden they playing in the cold. Like, we done bust ass for the whole year. Now we got to go to this inclement weather. Yeah, like that's
okay,
that
but
necessarily.
okay.
That's not the case now.
Right,
but I'm saying
my whole thing is this. But okay, that's fine.
But anything, give it to the home. Give it to the team who deserves it.
But wouldn't you say that? Let's say again. Let's say it was New Orleans coming in. New Orleans and against a fucking an outdoor team. And they fucking put the Super Bowl in a dome, which they've done it numerous times. Doesn't the dome team now have the advantage?
Right. But once again, I'm not saying it. My thing is, I'm not an advocate of the random site. Period.
No.
For instance, if the Jets would have snuck in, which is a joke, but if they would have snuck in at 8-8 in the playoffs and made the Super Bowl, and all of a sudden would have had this home court advantage because they're playing in it, like, what is this?
Yeah,
who does this randomness?
But hold on. I'm glad you just said that, because are they going to fucking, if the fucking site of the Super Bowl is predetermined? If a team happens to get be in a Super Bowl at their home, they're not going to change the fucking venue for that.
No, listen.
Right.
Of course
I know that. They should, but they shouldn't have this random shit. It should be at the home of whoever had the best record throughout the year.
See, I don't even.
Tiebreakers.
All I'm saying is,
you have 2 weeks.
Hold on. You want the Super Bowl to have actually a home team?
Yeah.
See, I don't know some whole different shit.
That's some whole different shit.
Listen, all other sports do.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
but see, for me, I still can't have that, because what if fucking Green Bay or Chicago go Bears actually make it there?
Well,
it could be a Sub-Zero game.
Well, then a Sub-Zero team.
But see,
I don't
that's
want
the
to
shit.
The advantage.
I don't want to see
and that's the shit.
That's where I agree. The Sub-Zero team should have that advantage.
But that's my whole thing. Whatever the fucking shit is, both teams, whatever you have to do, that's what you got to deal with.
Nah, man. Listen.
Listen.
No, wait a second. No, motherfucker. I'm just gonna say this and that's it. I don't give a fuck about no home field event. I just want to, because you're talking about a dome team. As long as it's the place wherever they play, if it's on sod or if it's indoors, as long as you don't have to worry about rain, snow, and any bullshit like that, I'm pretty sure it's easier for like the Miami Dolphins to go and transition to playing the Minnesota Vikings, because fine, they're running on turf instead of fucking grass, but it's still beautifully climate controlled. I don't want any team to have to play in rain, snow, and fucking wind, tornadoes, and cold and sloppy shit that will not let them play up to their best.
In the Super Bowl. They can be disadvantaged the rest of the fucking year.
Yes, that's right.
Well,
this is the deciding game. No, fuck that, man.
Anyway, that's our goddamn motherfucking show.
Whatever, man.
We'll be back fucking next week with these two fucks. And that's the way it fucking is. God damn it.
Yeah.
We out.
See you later. Fuck that shit.
We live in Brooklyn, baby.